They believed they were winning. That's why they didn't listen to him. Hannibal had done what no one thought possible. He crossed where armies weren't meant to cross. He defeated forces larger, richer, and more confident than his own. From the outside, it looked like momentum. From the inside, he saw the clock. He understood something his city didn't want to hear. Victory was not enough. Speed mattered more than success. Every delay strengthened the enemy. Every celebration bought Rome time. But nothing had collapsed yet. Nothing felt urgent. The system still functioned. So when Hannibal warned them, it sounded like impatience. When he pressed for action, it sounded like doubt. Being right too early doesn't feel like foresight. It feels like disruption. And disruption is only welcome after disaster makes it obvious. Carthage did not reject him openly. They delayed him. Requests were discussed, then deferred. Supplies were approved slowly. Decisions were revisited instead of made. Delay wears the mask of caution. From the council chambers, the war looked distant. Victories arrived as reports, not costs. Rome was still standing, which meant time felt available. Hannibal's urgency unsettled them. Urgency always does. It disrupts order. It demands risk before certainty. It asked institutions to move before permissions feel justified. So they chose steadiness over momentum. They funded defenses instead of offense, negotiated instead of committed, waited for clearer signs. But clearer signs arrived late. Rome did not wait. While Carthage debated, Rome adapted. While Carthage measured, Rome reorganized. Losses were absorbed, tactics adjusted, alliances secured. What Hannibal saw as a closing window, his city saw as a manageable situation. From the outside, he appeared demanding. From the inside, he felt abandoned. Messages from home grew formal. Support became conditional. Trust was replaced with oversight. Success without collapse breeds suspicion. If things are going well, why does he keep pressing? Why does he sound dissatisfied? Institutions trust stability more than vision. They reward reassurance, not foresight. And so Hannibal remained in the field, winning battles that no longer moved the war. Each victory proved his competence and weakened his argument, because as long as Rome stood, urgency could be dismissed. He had done everything required of him, except fail loudly enough to be believed. What changed him wasn't defeat, it was waiting. Waiting while seeing the window narrow. Waiting while opportunity decayed in plain sight. Waiting while being told that patience was wisdom. Patience, when forced, does something to a man. At first, it sharpens focus. He rehearses arguments, refines plans, anticipates the moment when permission finally arrives. But when permission never comes, clarity turns inward. Every day he remained idle. He carried the weight of futures he could no longer reach. Not imagined futures, calculable ones. Paths that required only timing. That knowledge is corrosive. Because it doesn't allow hope, it allows measurement. He could see exactly how much time remained, exactly how each delay shifted the balance, exactly when advantage would become endurance instead of leverage. And still, nothing moved. The danger wasn't frustration, it was something quieter. Restraint began to feel like complicity. Obedience felt indistinguishable from surrender, not to Rome, but to hesitation. He began to carry two wars at once, one against the enemy in front of him, and won against the slow erosion of possibility behind him. That second war left no scars others could see, but it narrowed his world. Conversations grew shorter. Messages from home felt procedural. Trust thinned, not because he doubted himself, but because he was forced to act against his own judgment. Being right too early teaches a dangerous lesson. That insight does not command action. That truth does not accelerate time. That correctness without authority is only awareness, and awareness can become a burden. The moment everyone feared eventually arrived. Rome could no longer be underestimated. The war no longer looked manageable. The signs Hannibal had named years earlier were now undeniable. Urgency finally filled the room, but urgency that arrives late does not restore lost options. It only narrows them. What Hannibal had asked for when it would have changed everything was now discussed as damage control. The language shifted. Not how do we finish this, but how do we survive it? By then, his clarity no longer sounded disruptive. It sounded historical, accurate, useless. The tragedy of being right too early is not that others eventually understand. It's that understanding arrives after time has already passed judgment. Hannibal did not lose because he was outmatched. He lost because timing cannot be recovered. And the world does not reward foresight. It rewards alignment with the moment. When the moment finally moved, it moved without him. What remained was not regret. Regret assumes choice. What remained was the knowledge that some truths do not belong to the future. They belong to the window that closes while everyone is still debating whether it exists. That is the cost of seeing what others cannot yet afford to see. Not isolation, not failure, but standing still while time finishes the war on your behalf.